name is Cherrie, and I came to Reorigin because I was suffering from long COVID for around 6 months, and then after that I had a bad reaction to the vaccine, which prolonged other things. So I was having problems for around a year. And now I'm 6 months into Reorigin. But before I got sick, I was a really active person, very social, putting on events and a busy working life. So really doing things all around. So that was definitely a challenge to not be able to be that person. It was really hard, emotionally and physically, because in a 2 week period my life completely changed from all the things I said about the person I was to being completely housebound, and for a long time being completely bedbound. The main problems that I had were neurological, so even sometimes being able to make dinner for myself became really challenging. So as a pretty active person, I felt really down. And as I consider myself to be a positive person, but when someone is experiencing conditions that are quite physical for a long time, that also presents its own challenges. And the other thing is I had a lot of brain fog as well, so working became impossible. I took 6 months fully out from work, which also meant from taking it out from my own business. I was really lucky to have my business partner and husband who were able to take that role on for me, but it was extra strain on them. My family were taking care of me for a while, and another thing that really suffered was my friendships. I didn't have the capacity to even reach out to people for support and love at one point. So I definitely felt very lonely and felt isolated in many times. I tried many different therapies before I found Reorigin, from ozone therapy to energy healing, massage, acupuncture, and I had been doing CBT therapy for a long time. And I believe in all these therapies, and things definitely helped me. As you can imagine, it costs a lot to keep up with all those things. And looking after diet and things, but honestly nothing had really given any significant results before. As much as I wanted to them and tried to stick to them, it wasn't until I found Reorigin that I really saw any significant shifts. So to sum up the program, especially for someone that doesn't know that much about either neuroplasticity or has never heard of Reorigin, I would say it's an easy to follow program about retraining your brain to heal yourself from many different things, both body and mind. The program itself is, I feel, really well planned and given out in bite-sized information about the brain. I found out so much about the brain that was really interesting, and helps the information to solidify in your mind. And then the tools. There are tools that you learn about that you can use anywhere and everywhere and implement into your life easily, I would say. And there are definitely things that I'll take forward into the rest of my life. I was inspired right from the beginning to kind of give it my all, having seen other people's success with the program. And I really like the approach of the step-by-step videos. As I said, I found it clear to follow, and for that reason it was really motivating to keep going. And I would say after about 1 month of actually doing the long form approach that Reorigin is based around, I saw a lot of improvements straight away, which meant spending less time in bed, being able to move around the house, being able to go outside for a bit. And having already seen those improvements, I just wanted to continue and do it as much as possible and get really into it. I participated in the group coaching, the momentum groups, and it's something I would definitely recommend. I was a bit hesitant at first sometimes because I can feel shy to share things in front of new people. The program really also helped me with that. So that was a win in itself. And in terms of the actual sessions, I felt really connected to the people in my group and really look forward to them like week after week. It really felt like celebrating the wins together, and real genuine happiness to know that through this program we're connected and people were healing and getting better day by day. So yeah, I've signed up for another one to keep me on track and feel accountable, and I can't wait. The thing that's helped me the most, other than having the tools, I would say it's really changed my whole outlook on health overall, which for me has been massive. Even before I got sick with COVID, I was definitely somebody who was quite anxious about my health and would, run to the doctor or obsess about small things and always try to find an answer. So through the program, having the understanding that these things can be solved by rewiring your brain was a really, really amazing realization for me. So aside from actually being able to be healed or mostly healed from my condition, that was really, really massive. And the other thing that I loved so much was the mood elevation tools, knowing that I can completely change my state of life, my state of mind, just by doing small things, like, whatever it's going to be, like dancing around or just feeling like more connected to everything and finding those positivities and knowing that, everything is okay and having a lot more acceptance. All of these things together just made for a really uplifting experience. So now that I'm 6 months into doing the program, I've completed the sessions and the videos and the momentum group. I would have to say that I'm maybe about 85% of the way there, and my life has changed in a really, really big way. I can go out, I can do things that I want to do, and starting to socialize again, which was massive for me. And even doing light exercise again, things like that, and also back to working in my business. So a lot of empowerment has come from taking a bit of control back in those areas. And if I think about any recent wins, I would have to say going for my first run. It was only 5 minutes, but for me that just felt so amazing, because I love running so much, and I always have, and it was always a way to have some kind of release. So being able to have a run for that was really great. And also throughout the program you learn how to build things up, so I can't wait to also build that up. The last thing I would say about Reorigin is the community aspect. For me, that was a really integral part. Having been part of like other support groups for long COVID or whatever it might be hadn't helped me so much, and it was a completely different experience being with Reorigin, because everybody's really positive, really encouraging, really there for each other, and all the staff are just really great, really friendly and helpful, and it was definitely more personal than anything else that I had experienced before. And like I said, that's what made it so motivating. So I do think that this is a program, if you don't know much about neuroplasticity, it's absolutely fine, and you find that out, and find also that you can retrain your brain, which for me is the most amazing thing. So I can't recommend it enough, and just thank you so much.